Ritu, can you play the music? Can you play the video?
Spirituality basically means is shifting your awareness from sympathetic to parasympathetic mode. Normally we need a balance, but if our balance is more towards sympathetic mode, we are more in a wear and tear mode, we will end up with a lifestyle disorder, cancers, high cholesterol, blood pressure, diabetes. But if our average time in a day is more towards parasympathetic mode, we are more relaxed, we are more happy, we are more in a healing phase. Therefore, we must have your family physician who guides you how to shift from sympathetic to parasympathetic mode. Your guru, your religion can also guide you by teaching you how to remove negativity of the mind and how to be positive, which can be by thinking positive, by thinking opposite, or by thinking differently. Whatever you do, our purpose of life is to reduce the noise of our mind, the disturbed noise of our mind, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar, either using the spirituality principles through a guru or medically by learning breathing meditation, mindfulness breathing, living in the present, conscious breathing, all helps us in attaining spirituality or a parasympathetic state of mind. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Chong, would you like to start the session? Nana, we cannot hear you if you're trying to speak.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Dr. Chong.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Nana. I've never met you before, but it's a pleasure to meet you, although not under these circumstances. And thank you, everyone, for coming to this very special session. Yeah, thank you, everyone, for coming to this very special session where we will all sit together and think about. Can you hear me?
Nana, you're saying something?
Can you hear me, Sarah?
Yes, Dr. Chong, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for coming to this special session of in memoriam of our dear President, Dr. K.K. Aggarwal. I've never met Naina before, so it's good to say hello to Naina. Although not under such circumstances, I'm afraid. I first met Dr. Aggarwal some years ago when he came to our CMAAO meetings, and we've always talked to each other on and off and talked about all kinds of matters. But it's really in the last 1 year during these dark times of COVID that we have really seen each other almost on a weekly basis, and sometimes even more than that on Zoom. and really got to know each other so well. And I think really that goes for all of us here today. And, we've all had a fantastic year with Dr. Aggarwal, President. And we were always amazed at his drive and his initiative at pushing us to meet every week. And initially, I thought maybe this is a bit of a chore, but after a while, we could see how much energy and enthusiasm and drive he brought to these meetings. In particular, it was amazing because he had put in so much effort to talk to people across the world on what the latest was on COVID, its presentation, its pathogenesis, the immunology, and he got people like Monica to come in to help us understand this whole disease process better. And you know how viruses are and how they interact with our immune system. So really, at the end of the day, it was quite amazing. We all became armchair immunologists thanks to President. And we never forget his drive, enthusiasm. And, sometimes I would always, as a chair, I would always say, thank you very much for putting in so much effort for all these sessions and helping us to understand this whole virus process better. And there'll be no response to him, but just a very faint smile. And that always tickled me very much. Truly, a president was a very modest man, and put in so much effort and had so much drive, energy, was just amazing. And it was a bit of a shock, and I'm sorry, a bit devastated because I see him almost every week on Zoom, and to have this happen really shows that this virus is really has taken a toll on all of us, and on President, in such a sad way. So I think that's all I have to say for now, because I like everybody else to have a chance to say whatever is on their mind. Please, everyone, you're welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Chong. And truly, you have been always there in all the sessions with him, and truly inspiring. I would also now request everyone. So I will request Dr. Alvin to go from Hong Kong, and Dr. Chong can also invite others to have a word on him. And so this is a very, I've been in CMAAO events from very long, and this is one of the most difficult session for me to, host or, talk about it. So I would surely need your help, Dr. Chong. Dr. Elvin, are you there? Dr. Elvin, can you unmute yourself? Yes, Dr. Elvin.
Hello. Hello. Yes. Yes. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Dr. Elvin, your audio is, I think you're connected from the two devices.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. It's indeed an honor for me to be co-working with Dr. KK for the past few years, since he became the vice president first, president-elect. And then, of course, we had more time together in Goa. And then, well, of course, last year is unfortunately, the COVID has stopped us meeting in Taipei. But however, as the chairman said, we have the privilege of having the weekly virtual meetings with the president online. because of the COVID, we could not meet in Taiwan. But then CMAAO become much more active than before. And with the innovative ideas and the resilience of the president not to let CMAAO members just suffer, quote unquote, suffer from the COVID, stopping us from meetings, stopping us from economic activities. We all have to have social distancing. In the CMAAO countries, in fact, most of our doctors and citizens are much more receptive to the rules and advice of social distancing, stay home, and then our masking has to be, I have to say that with the weekly meetings, we all have empowered ourselves, and frankly speaking, quite empowered by KK, so that we all keep working and campaigning and educating and treating our patients, and have been vigilant, more vigilant because of KK's initiative and the efforts, especially with the weekly meetings, which I had almost participated in every meeting. So I think we all benefited so much from KK to be more helpful in the society, in our own societies, in our own medical associations, to campaign for the vaccinations, to campaign for all the precautionary measures and preventive measures in our own community. And I would say that, well, I really miss KK very much. Yes. And however, I also appreciate a lot what KK had advised us not to be sad, not to mourn over his leaving us, but to remember his legacy, to remember what he has been, and well, he stays with us. And I think I really appreciate that. So instead of being extremely sad, as I had mentioned in my first message in remembrance of in missing KK, I do think that, yes, having this memorial session, we are all celebrating what KK had been empowering us, have been encouraging us, and spiritually lifting us up. And thank you very much, KK. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Elvin. And yes, you're correct. Can I have Dr. Mary from Japan?
Thank you very much. It is great sadness I heard about the Dr. KK's passing. Everybody talking about Dr. KK, and he is so great that I cannot think of any right now. Without him, what should we do? But I remember his word. There is no evidence for COVID-19, but we have to do something and create the evidence. That always encourages me to do a step further. And Dr. Alvin said that Dr. KK will stay us all the time in our mind. That is something I can say. Thank you to Dr. KK. Thank you very much for sharing this time. Thank you.
Dr. Mary. Can I have Taiwan Medical Association representatives, please?
Thank you, Chairman. I'm Dr. Brian Chen, the Secretary General of TMA. And good morning, all the fellow friends in CMAAO. It is really sad to know that a strong fighter like KK would leave us. So our president, Dr. Tai Yuan Cho, would like to say a few words to mourn our good friend.
No, okay. Thank you. Dear friends, I'm the Dr. Chiu, President of Taiwan Medical Association. It was heartbreaking to learn the passing of our good friend, Dr. KK Aggarwal. The Taiwan Medical Association would like to express our deepest condolence to Dr. KK Aggarwal, former president of the India Medical Association and the president of the CMAAO after a lengthy battle with COVID-19. Our community has lost a great healthcare guardian, a compassionate physician, and a visionary leader. Since the outbreak of pandemic, Dr. KK Aggarwal collected and shared COVID-19 information every day. He built a network and convened CMAAO members to work together to fight COVID-19 weekly. He raised the awareness and strengthened the collaboration of physicians in Asia and Oceania. Dr. KK Aggarwal endeavored himself to help COVID-19 patients and sacrificed his valuable life. He was a prestigious leader of India Medical Association and a role model of physicians. His passionate and remarkable contributions to the world will not forgotten. The Aggarwal family, our colleague at the Indian Medical Association, and the people of India are in our thought and prayers. Thank you.
Thank you, Taiwan Medical Association. Can we have Dr. Sajjad and then Dr. Chaudhary?
Thank you very much. Can you hear me, everybody?
Yes,
Yeah.
Dr. Sajjad.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. I'm Dr. Kaisar Sajjad, Secretary General, Pakistan Medical Association. I was not any time thinking that we will have this meeting instead of Saturday meeting at 9 o'clock in the morning in Pakistan, which is very unfortunate. I met KK, I think 5 years back in CMAAO meeting. And then I have regularly attended with my colleague, Dr. Ashraf Nizami is here also. And we, all the time, we spent so many time in, we used to go in market in other places of that city where the CMAAO was holding. We were together. So I found KK, he was so nice man, thorough gentleman, good human being. And I found him in CMAAO meeting that he was a good teacher and a good fighter also. I say that he was a good human being because when I met first time, I asked KK, why you are hanging this stethoscope on your neck? Then he said that it is all the time. Whenever when I go out of my home, I used to have this stethoscope on my neck because I just want to know that anybody in problem, anybody need doctors, I'm here to. And this is very, I mean, this is very much say a good sign of humanity because everybody is avoiding that people should not know that I am a doctor, so I can trap in somewhere. But the KK is doing that. So this is a very this was a very good thing that he was doing in the community. I was very impressed with him, and I met also Bhabi, Mrs. KK Aggarwal, if she's here. I also spent some time with her also and KK with the excursion tour in the city of Tokyo. So my condolence to Bhabhi. मुझे बहुत अफसोस है कि KK जो है वो इस वक्त नहीं है हमारे साथ, and मैं समझता हूँ कि हमारा बहुत बड़ा loss है, and this is absolutely an irreparable loss, and we always remember him, KK, whenever we find anything regarding medical, anything regarding humanity, anything in the community, in connection with the KK, we remember him. KK, we don't forget you always. You always remember. We miss you everywhere, every time. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sajad. Can I also request, I think Dr. Salma is also there from Pakistan, and then Dr. Ashraf is also there from Pakistan. If you can, Dr. Salma is there, if I'm not, the current president of CMAAO for Pakistan.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Sohail. I'm really, really saddened at this event. I joined the CMAAO meetings a bit late because there was my meeting with Dr. KK Aggarwal on the CMAAO platform. I think it was 14 days back or 21 days back, in which he told us that he has become COVID positive. And even then, he was giving us this lecture on COVID. I found him to be intellectually very, very powerful, very, very strong. His intellect really amazed me in that 1 hour meeting together. I learned such a lot of things. And now I'm sure, since you've been attending these meetings with him regularly every Saturday, you all must have gained such a lot from him. I would request Mr. Sohrab to please upload all his lectures so that I can review them later on. It's such a loss. It's such a loss for the world. I hope we have more people like him. And what he said then was that he'd had the second shot of AstraZeneca 4 days back, and he's become COVID positive. To which I said, you'll be fine, inshallah, this will go away because you've had the second vaccine. It's very strange. I don't know, even after the second shot, he didn't make it. That's really, really saddening me. And what he said there was that his lungs were all right, but otherwise he has been affected. I don't know. We didn't go into the details of what was wrong at that time. Maybe Mr. Sohrab or somebody from India can brief us, because I keep on thinking of him and it keeps on depressing me. I'm sure he is in a much better place now. And I really, really want to extend my condolences to his family. I'm sure his place can't be filled, but he's in a much better place. And I hope whatever he has taught us, that helps us in our fight against this bad pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ashraf.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Saurabh. To all my friends, just to introduce those who don't know me, I'm Dr. Ashraf Nizami. I'm the first Vice President for CMAAO and the President Pakistan Medical Association at Lahore. KK Aggarwal, tell you the truth, I'm deeply saddened and shocked on the sad demise of my friend, brother, Dr. KK Aggarwal. And those friends who attended meeting, and I used to attend whenever I attend, Dr. KK, whenever in my talks, he used to call me Ashraf G. So G is a closed, warm expression of brotherhood in our region, Indo-Pakistan region, and in between Delhi and Lahore. I recall the first meeting in China, along with Dr. Ketan Desai, then president of World Medical Association, Dr. Alvin from Hong Kong, and other friends of CMAAO in China. He motivated the delegation of Pakistan Medical Association to rejoin the forums of like CMAAO and World Medical Association. Under his keen interest and support, Pakistan Medical Association participated in CMAAO meeting in Tokyo, Japan, where we established a close friendship with him and Dr. Ravi Naindo, Dr. Alvin, Dr. Atmar, Dr. Chong, the chairman, Dr. Mari, then the general secretary of CMAAO. We cherished with him in Malaysia, as Dr. Sajjad said, and the same happened in Tokyo. In Malaysia, where he was elected as President-elect CMAAO, being President CMAAO, I believe he took the organization on very, very high level. His services during the period of COVID are remarkable as a leader and highest level of a social worker and scientist in the field of medicine. It is very hard to believe that Dr. K.K. Aggarwal has left for heavens. My heartfelt condolences to the family, especially to my Bhabiji, his son, the daughter. In my tribute to my friend, brother K.K. Aggarwal, I just want to recite a couplet from the renowned poet of our place like India and Pakistan, Asadullah Khan Ghalib. He said on such an occasion, "जाते हुए कहते हो क़यामत को मिलेंगे, क्या खूब क़यामत का है गोया कोई दिन और." Just trying to translate, on departing, you say we'll meet on doomsday. Oh dear, as if doomsday is some other day. So rest in peace, my dear friend, my brother K.K. Aggarwal. Goodbye, and we will miss you, and you will remain in our heart. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your kind words. Dr. Lochan from Nepal.
Namaste. Nepal I personally and on behalf of Nepal Medical Association would like to I would like to pour the condolence, heartfelt condolence on the demise of Dr. K.K. Aggarwal, and I would pray God to give strength to his family and everyone. He was a true leader. I have met since I'm president now, but I had been meeting him since when I was general secretary in several meetings. As everybody said, I had also met him even in Tokyo, before that in World Medical Association. I recently got an opportunity to listen to his last lecture when he was in oxygen. And I remember he said, the show has to go on. He said, I'm not feeling good, I'm in oxygen, but I can't stop keeping my good work. And he said, he remembered the lines of Raj Kapoor, and he said, the show has to go on. So this is a great loss, not only to our region, but to the whole medical fraternity of the whole world. He was a true leader. And this is a great loss for us, and we will always miss him, and he will always be in our hearts. And Medical Association of Nepal, we would like to pray strength to and thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Lochan. For everyone, Dr. Veena Aggarwal, wife of Dr. K.K. Aggarwal, she's here, and she's along with her daughter, along with the daughter Naina Aggarwal. I'm sorry, we keep saying doctors to non-medical. This is what Dr. K.K. has been doing to us. Every time he used to call us doctor, and I think that habit has become in us. So Dr. Veena Aggarwal is here with us, and do you want to say words before we can invite others? Dr. Veena, please.
From the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank all of you, each one of you, for giving KK the opportunity that he cherished. I remember how excited he was when he was to take over the presidentship of CMAAO. And typical KK that he was, he not only was he mindful of his duties, he went overboard. It was like a toy that he had to disassemble and join again and make sense of everything. COVID gave him the opportunity to interact with you all. Each one of you is a leader in your own world in your own sense. And he was privileged to have such great minds to debate with. Thank you for being a part of his journey. He leaves behind a bit of himself in each of your hearts. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Veena, for being so strong and for being with us. You're an inspiration right now for everyone. And now I invite Dr. Jamal Chaudhary to speak on the. Yeah, can you please unmute?
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm Dr. Jamal Chaudhary from Bangladesh Medical Association. I deeply express my condolences to Bhabi, to Veena Aggarwal, whom I met in Goa and in Japan also. So far, I remember during our conference of CMAAO and other program. So I really express my heartfelt condolence to you, the family, Dr. K.K. Aggarwal's family, and his daughter, and other friends, and also who are mourning his death, especially in CMAAO country leaders. Actually, I am really deeply saddened actually at the demise of our great leader, which I must say, because when I met him, when he became the president, vice president, he was a vice president elect, and Dr. Rabi Naidu took the presidency of CMAAO. I told them to keep the CMAAO alive throughout the year, like WMA. And they assured me that yes, they will continue. So in continuing that, I invited Dr. Rabi Naidu in our conference in which was held in Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh. And I am really thankful to Dr. Rabi Naidu. He has attended that meeting, and which was actually honored by the presence of our Prime Minister also. Dr. Rabi Naidu also, remember, he is also in the meeting. So I also thought Dr. K.K. Aggarwal also would be joining us. Anyhow, he couldn't do that. So anyhow, actually, he kept the CMAAO.
I think we lost.
I
Dr.
told already to my colleagues here also. He was so dedicated. I was amazed by his sincerity. He was having a depth of knowledge actually, I think, and he was awarded for the Padma Shri Award. That was a great award actually in India. So really, we lost actually a great man, which I feel. And when I heard he has been infected with COVID-19, I was surprised that he got his second jab and his vaccine could not save him. That actually, when I heard I think someone has uploaded a video, I think Dr. Salma probably. That was actually, I don't know whether it's Dr. Salma or I'm not sure. But I heard him saying that I will not be in dire condition or serious condition. And after that, some days he just gone. It's really pathetic for us. I will always remember him. He was so energetic. He was a great teacher. And he had a great belief in religion. He used to sometimes correlate with the verses from the Gita. Sometimes he used to correlate with the science and the Gita and the religion, something like that. He was a great belief in that religion. So I think his work should be remembered always, especially in CMAAO, and I'm sure in India also, greatly remembered. And I must say that, and I must pray to God that God may keep his soul in peace. Thank you so much for arranging this meeting for remembrance.
Thank you, Dr. Jamal Chaudhary.
Thank you so much.
can we have his dear friend, Dr. D'Souza from UNESCO? He has always been in most of the sessions with him.
Thank you, Saurabh. I am extremely distressed to hear this because I have been a close friend. I met KK before he took over as General Secretary, and with I am the Asia Pacific head and chair for the UNESCO chair in bioethics, and I flew down to attend his taking over as the president of the Indian Medical Association, and he then brought the IMA into the fold of the 230 centers of the UNESCO chair. And I was delighted to go to his house, met Dr. Veena. In fact, they came to Cyprus with Dr. Ketan Desai and Veena and KK with me for the heads meeting. And since then, we've had many, he has been on our international program, has contributed immensely to the knowledge of around the world to COVID from our panel discussions. And I'm so sad to say that he was scheduled to speak on the 6th of June at the international panel discussion, where he was going to speak on unanswered questions of COVID. That's what he told me. He would like to bring in all the unanswered questions. And I have been delighted to almost attend every Saturday, almost from the time we started. I have been attending this and learnt immensely from Dr. KK, because COVID, no one really knows much about this. And from here, not only in India, in Australia, or in fact, I have centers around. And KK, for whatever reason, he brought so many specialists. Monica was there with us, give us into immunology. We had his nephew Gupta just speak on imaging, and we all learned. And I am distressed. But of course, we know that the first time I met him, we spoke on spirituality. We spoke on that was the area that we spoke a lot on in his house. And I went again the second time. I had the privilege of being there and meeting Veena and actually having dinner there in his house. So I'm very sorry, but we will keep KK close and continue with what he said. The show has to go on. And remember that what he talked, what he's been talking about, he gives such wonderful talks to the international programs, along with some of the, I got some of the consultants from UK, USA along with him, and his knowledge was far ahead of all of them in terms of this COVID, understanding the mutations, so minutely explaining about how the mutations took place and what really was happening. So we remember him, and I'm so proud to have been associated from 2013 with dear KK. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to recollect and reminisce our journey together.
Thank you, Dr. D'Souza. Can we have Dr. Deborah? She's always been very nice to us to join at 2:30 a.m. in the midnight and just to listen to Dr. KK. She's always been saying to me that, it's difficult for us to understand, but it is so much of knowledge she gets from this session that she has to get up in the midnight and take the sessions. Over to you, Dr. Deborah.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me? Dear colleagues, I'm very sad because and I want to give my deep condolence to all the family and all the friends, the best friends that we have on meeting every week. I met Dr. KK a few years ago at the meeting of the World Medical Association. I was very honored when I was invited to his select group. Dr. KK saw the fight against the pandemic as a cause of his own and managed to unite all of us who meet every week to study the disease. Despite of the time zone, I always took part in the meetings with great pleasure. Sorry, but I'm very nervous because I'm very, very sad. It's very difficult to believe in this situation. In bad dreams, I never thought in this situation, in this kind of meeting. It's very sad for us. And it's an honor for me to be the only person from Latin America to be here. I think I have good new friends from Zoom, and I hope soon the pandemic stop and we meet and we can take a meeting without internet together in a big group in a small room talking with each other. Thank you very much, and sorry because I'm very nervous.
Thank you, Doctor. Can I have Dr. Ravi Naidu from Malaysia and then Dr. Ko from Malaysia as well after this?
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Ravi Naidu. I'm the immediate past president of CMAAO. So you can imagine how close contact I had with Dr. KK. I was also the past president of the Malaysian Medical Association, and I had the opportunity to meet Dr. KK several occasions, especially in our World Medical Association meetings that we had in several parts of the world. And of course, in our CMAAO meetings, we used to meet him, and we had the privilege of being discussing a lot of very important matters, of course, medical related and association related. I used to envy his enormous knowledge he had or he was having, especially with this COVID, and the details he went through every Saturday was humongous, I tell you. I was actually stunned to hear him give us all that information, which was of so much of value. It is still of so much of value. In fact, when I heard the sad news, I was really disappointed that we are going to miss him on these Saturday meetings where he used to come up with every meeting was information regarding COVID. I would like to convey my sincere and heartfelt condolences to his family. He's a great man. I think all of us in this family, I would call us all a family, are going to really miss him terribly. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Naidu. Dr. Ko. Yeah.
Yes, I'm Dr. Ko, the President-elect of the Malaysian Medical Association, also Vice Chair of CMAAO. And I will start off with saying, I salute you, Sir KK. It's really ironic that the person who has been talking to us, teaching us so much on COVID-19 is a person who has also succumbed to it. It is really a shock to us. And it is not only these Saturday talks where we learn about COVID from him. He started way before that when the pandemic first started and it was recognized in Wuhan, China. And after that, he was already talking about it. And we had several discussions, impromptu discussions with him, and he was very knowledgeable on this. So, but we never knew that a person who is so passionate about COVID and knew so much about it. We never knew that he'll be a person who will be one of the so-called victims of it. And I knew him as the doctor from India who has his stethoscope around his neck, each time we see him walking around, and I had the chance to ask him once, why do you have a stethoscope around your neck? And he answered, I can't remember his exact words, but what he said was, aren't you proud to be a medical doctor? The stethoscope is a symbol of a medical professional. So you should be proud to show it. And that's why he wears it. And I can still remember the time when he just popped up in front of me with the phone right in front of my face. You know how he does his recording, his clips and all that, and start asking questions and we have to answer him. And he always catches me off guard because I'll be worried about, I'll be answering some things and then he'll be sharing it with some other people. So, and then he'll always come to me and say, Dr. Chai, can you tell me about this and that? He'll just come forward, whether it's on. Those days it was physical, and then now online. Whenever he knows that I'm there, he'll just pop up and just ask a question. And I find it very hard pressed to answer his questions. But I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot. And I'm sure this sentiment is being shared by everyone of us here. So I think I wouldn't say much more because there are still a lot of people here. But again, I'll repeat, I salute you, KK, sir.
Thank you so much. Can we have Dr. Mukesh Chandras speaking?
Thank you very much. And thank you for putting on this meeting. I think it's so important to be able to get together and speak about someone, one of our own who has succumbed to something we're all so fearful of. I'm what we call in Australia a bit of a blow-in or a feather duster. I used to be chairman of the World Medical Association, and I used to be the president of the Australian Medical Association. And my interactions with KK and the family have been in that way. I have heard and agree with all that's already been said, and I just want to give you a slightly different perspective of a man who, with his family, runs some printing services there in India and publishes medical journals. Just a story, I was chairman of the World Medical Association going for re-election. The family actually very kindly took a commission from me to print some booklets that we provided after the World Medical Association did its first ever international conference around the time of the G20 meeting. So it's called H20. And this book, they printed for me in India, and they brought, believe it or not, to Oslo in Norway. And we plotted unsuccessfully, unfortunately, to try and get me re-elected. So it was good fun. It was
I think you got mute.
Sorry,
Can you? Yeah.
Sorry, I've been bowled over since the beginning of this awful contagion of the almost daily newsletters with the CMAAO masthead, which has kept us so informed of all the twists and turns of this awful virus. As a part of the Indian diaspora outside of the subcontinent, and I know that in other people around who've got the diaspora there too, we're all feeling the terrible effects, including our own families who still are in India, and our colleagues, our friends who are medical. And to see someone so iconic who's been leading the charge and the knowledge about this, also been this terrible predicament, albeit with the feisty words in the last minute on the videos that we've seen, even here in Australia from NDTV and on YouTube. It's inspirational, it's uplifting, and it's certainly time for sadness and certainly time for reflection, but also time for getting the show to go on, to live his legacy, to see that in his family, and to make sure that we continue to lead the charge as professionals, as doctors in our countries, in our region, and across the world. Something he's shown us. With or without our stethoscopes on, we certainly need to continue to do what we're doing and follow his lead. So thank you very much for allowing me to speak and to be here, even though I'm a feather duster and a blow-in. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mukesh. Can we have Dr. Deng? Also, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. This is Dr. Deng from Taiwan Medical Association. Personally, I did not know Dr. KK until the day of December 2019 when I attended the Indian Medical Association General Assembly meeting. We happened to be traveled together from the hotel to the meeting site for a few times in those days. As I can remember that we did have a very short conversation about the activity and the medical society, medical community development in the Asia Pacific area. Well, I know that he is a great man. I mean, full of wisdom and very energetic. I know he exercised a lot of effort, while the pandemic, outbreak coming out, from last year until this year as well. So I did miss him from time to time, and I will continue to miss him from time to time as well. So please have my condolence to the Indian Medical Association as well as the family of Dr. KK. Thank you very much. It's my honor to be here with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us. Dr. Akhtar Hussain from South Africa. Can you please unmute? And we do. Dr. Akhtar. Yes, Dr.
Good morning, everyone. Indeed, it's a very, very sad time. I met through the Zoom to KK, and I was so touched, and I've learned so much in a short period. On behalf of South African Medical Association, everyone is sad, and the teaching he gave us, we have been sharing throughout the South African Medical Association to other members. And we are not immunologists, but he made us a mini immunologist. And the immune system, the way he taught us is I never learned in the medical school the way he explained. So Dr. KK Aggarwal, we will miss you so much. You left us so early. It's too soon you left us. And we're really going to miss in our medical life. And for the family, your tear is our tears. Take my condolence. Thank you.
Thank you. So we acknowledge the presence of most of the associations here. Have I missed anyone over here? Okay, so Dr. Ganabh Bhaskaran is joining, so we will take his. Anyone else who has left, we have not acknowledged, please can unmute themselves and speak in term from CMAAO countries. So Dr. Ganabh Bhaskaran, I think you have just joined. Can you? Yes, Dr. Ganabh Bhaskaran, can you unmute?
Yeah, good afternoon and good morning to you, all of you. I'm happy that you have invited us to say some good words about our late KK Aggarwal. And I hope to say a few words when you give me the chance. And
yes, please.
Thank you.
Yes, Dr. Ganabh Bhaskaran, can you
say something now?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for having invited us to say a few words about late Dr. KK Aggarwal. To me, I've never seen a more professional doctor like him. And first I met him many years ago when I saw him wearing the stethoscope. I was wondering why is the doctor, we all know doctors use stethoscope, but after that, when I spoke to him and he gave me an explanation, I was very proud that he was able to show what he was. Since then, I've been a friend of his, especially during the CMAAO meetings. But one major thing that I'm very proud of was that he was able to come and join us for our MMA. We held a nationwide CSR Health Carnival on January 18th in 2020. When I invited him, he gladly accepted. He came here. He was very simple. He never looked at, being given very big honor or whatever it is. But he joined us. He spent 2 days with us. That was very memorable days with him. And subsequently, even in the National AGM of MMA in 2020, we invited him as a guest speaker. He came on board. He spoke to us virtually, and that are the remembrance. But more than that, I feel a big loss because he was conducting these COVID sessions on every Saturday without non-stop. And to me, I mean, I feel very, very upset. God is kind to everybody, but for a man like him who was serving mankind throughout the world, especially on the COVID thing, God was unkind in taking him away. But I'm sure he is now in a better place, and we all pray for his soul to rest in peace. And our deepest condolences to the family, his wife, and all family members, and to all of you, and to IMA. I am now the immediate past president of Malaysian Medical Association. I'm sure my president, Dr. Subramania, would be speaking on behalf of MMA. I'm speaking right now as a past president, immediate past president, and an old friend of Dr. Aggarwal. We all miss him, and I hope he's in a better place than what we are here in the world. Thank you very much.
Indeed. I would like to now, from the CMAAO side, I would like to now bring Dr. Monica Vasudev to talk on the couple of seconds because she was helping us out when Dr. KK was not well. He was in hospital, so she was covering up for the sessions. So Dr. Monica, and then I will invite the beloved doctor of Dr. KK, who was very close to speak on the final comments. Dr. Monica.
Thank you, Saurabh, and thank you to CMAAO for an incredible journey. I came on in the 11th hour of Dr. KK's time with all of you. And as his niece, and as someone who was mentored by him, I saw him as a family member and yet as a doctor. And as he called himself as a collective consciousness of all physicians, I can speak to that. He had a vigor, he had an energy that recognized everybody's potential and brought us up to that potential to be able to not only do something for ourselves, but for all of humanity. He was holistic in his approach to providing care. He recognized people for who they are in their environments and in that moment in their life that needed something. Whether it be from a handshake to a way that he would watch you walk into a room, to the way that he would interact with you, he always found a way to make your life better. That was at the level of one-to-one. What he has done now is he has put that on a large-scale platform where he met with minds that were just like him, and he was able to disseminate, integrate, and be able to synthesize information that was the need of the hour. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of all of you during this time. It makes me feel, as part of his family, that we are doing exactly what he wanted us to do, which was to continue the work of honoring our roles as physicians, of making the lives of our patients better, and making our lives easier by not having to reinvent the wheel. And thank you so much again for allowing me to be a part of this and for your love and affection to Dr. KK. We will miss him.
Thank you, Dr. Monica. And with the permission of Chair, we would love to continue these sessions, which was a dream from Dr. KK. And final comments from Naina, who is a daughter for Dr. KK Aggarwal. And I would say the daughters are very close to father, and she's a perfect example for that. Over to you, Doctor. Over to you, Naina. I'm so sorry for calling you doctor.
Yeah, just to clarify, I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
All our lives we grew up saying we didn't want to become doctors as kids because we didn't see our parents too much, with both parents as doctors working 72-hour duties. We didn't get so much time with them. It was much later that we realized that they were serving a much larger purpose of saving lives, and they were much more to the world than just our parents. It was my father's last wish to really continue the work that he started. He truly believed, and till the very end, he continued to help people absolutely selflessly. Every time I told him, "Why don't you take a break?" he said, "If I take a break, someone else may lose their life." That's really what he believed in, and he continued till he could, till the very end. He's left us with a big responsibility to continue to help people, to continue to really raise his third child, as he called it, for Heart Care Foundation of India, which was his NGO. Which going forward, he also had the vision to kind of tell us that it must be called the HCFI Dr. KK Research Fund going forward, because he wants enough research, enough collaborative effort from across the globe, from people as eminent as all of you here, to kind of come together for the greatest minds to work against and find a cure and find solutions to problems like the coronavirus pandemic. That was his dream, that no one should suffer, that no one should just die because they can't afford treatment, they can't get access to quality healthcare. So these were really his principles, and that's something that we really hope that with all your support we can continue doing. We can continue helping people across the world. We can help find solutions to the healthcare issues, and we can actually just continue his legacy and keep his name alive. Thank you so much for all your support and all your kind words. We absolutely appreciate it. It is, my mother's here listening in. She doesn't have the heart to sit here through it, but we're all here. We're all, if any help is required ever, we're always here. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Naina, and very well said. Heart Care Foundation of India was his third baby, and we would love to continue the international meetings with the help of CMAAO functions and events which we will host. And that's his dream, which I think you will go forward and continue. And now I will invite Dr. Chong to final comments as a chair of this meeting, and we will end the session after this. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being with us as a family for Dr. KK, extended family over here. And as I mentioned, that we would continue the sessions with your permission for every Saturday, which his dream was it, and continue the education. We would like to bring speakers around the world who can talk, discuss, and make things forward. Over to you, Dr. Chong, for final comments.
Thank you, Saurabh. And it's such a privilege to hear all the beautiful comments and to have his family here with us as well. Not just his immediate family, but also his extended family. We will never forget such a man with such drive, such energy, practically imbued inside him. This energetic drive. And not only was there a tremendous intellect and a rigorous one too, but that could expound on all matters from virology to vaccines to armchair immunology to even geopolitics of vaccine wars. I mean, the depth and breadth of his vision, his intellect, his rigor, I think has blown us all away. Time and time again and again every Saturday. And yet, with this depth and breadth of his intellect, there was also a part of him that could evolve with that quantum shift to embrace the vastness of the universe, the spirituality. We never forget him telling us to stop the CMAAO sessions, the physical sessions, that we were present, and to all start doing some breathing exercises together. And that was an amazing part of it, because never experienced something like that in a meeting. But it was important because it taught us that spirituality that he was also imbued with. And so now I think our dear friend, President KK Aggarwal, has moved on to become part of the universe. He's all and in around us. And he'll continue to inspire us, be part of us, and be part of our fabric be part of our minds. And as we continue to move forward on this very, very deep and fraught with, danger and sadness and this war that we have to declare on this enemy that has come in once in a century. And our hearts and minds are with our dear president. You will never leave us. You're always there around us. And our thoughts and prayers are with the family, and of course with all our extended family here at CMAAO as well. Thank you very much for coming, and it's such a pleasure to see everybody, although not under these circumstances, but thank you very much again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.